So if you're following me on other social media platforms and you know that I decided to stop casting for other jewelers, I will still be casting for myself, but I will not be casting for other jewelers. And I've been alluding to on this platform and other platforms that I have something really, really big coming, some really big changes that are going to really change everything. And I was starting to look at different areas of my business to see what I can cut back on because I'm already spread thin as it is. And then what I'm about to be doing will either make it worse or better depending on how I move forward. So I did end up deciding to cut casting for other people. I thought this would make a really good video because there are a lot of other people getting into casting right now, which I think is wonderful. Like, I'm seeing so many people with their Kaya cast, with their melting furnaces. I don't know if I had anything to do with it, but if I did, I'm super, super grateful and super proud of all of you guys. There's so many, especially women jewelers, people just getting into this that are going to be casting for themselves, which I think is really, really cool because yes, it is some expensive equipment and it's, another thing to learn how to do, but I've seen people say like, this is advanced stuff, like you shouldn't, if you're interested in it, then you should be doing it. It's not too advanced for you and anyone can learn. So natural thought progression is that maybe some of you might end up wanting to cast for other people too. And I thought you guys might want to know why, like every single reason why I want to stop casting for other people. I think it's going to be really helpful information so that if that thought ever does cross your mind, you'll know the pros and the cons and what actually took me out of this. And if I would have quit doing this, whether or not that change was coming, if this is a choice I would have made anyway. First, I'll introduce myself in case you guys don't know me. My name is Adriana. I've been running my handmade jewelry business for the last 4 years. I went full-time in April of last year, and I've been casting for 2 years. So the biggest reason why I decided to stop casting for other people was obviously time management. I super, super, super underestimated how much time casting for other people was going to take away from my own jewelry business and making my orders and casting my work. I think I assumed that, well, I'm casting anyway, I might as well just throw people's stuff in with mine, it'll be quick, it'll be simple, it'll be a good way to supplement my income, and it was a great way to supplement my income, but it was not as simple and quick and easy as just throwing it in with the work that I was already doing. I had to sprue people's work, obviously. Some people had some really intricate spruing needs, so needing to add sprues on the inside, that's not as quick as just tacking one on the outside. People needed lots of vents, lots of other bridges, larger pieces that ended up taking up most of my flasks. So then a 1-day casting day turned into 2-day casting days. And I just really, really, really underestimated the time it would take to cut the sprues, clean them all up, weigh everything, calculate the cost of everything, input new customers into my Shopify, calculate everything and just type it all in, create an actual invoice, send it back, wait for them to pay it. It just added all of those little things. Although it was fun, I loved it so much. If that were my only job, if that was my business on its own, casting, I would love it. There's nothing about it that I hate. It's just that it wasn't as easy as I thought to integrate into the work that I was already doing. There were some times that my casting work would take up 3 full business days of my work week, and that's just not feasible as my business is growing. The second reason why I decided to stop kind of goes along the same route as time, but I was really, really bad at in my services tab, I did say that I would be charging more for intricate spruing or for really large pieces that would require larger flasks and more investment. And I could never get myself to do it, to reach out to anyone and say hey, this one took a little more time, or this one was pretty big and I had to upsize my flask. I had to add a bunch of extra sprues to this one. I had to add a bunch of extra venting to these because they're thin or big or hollow or whatever. And this is I don't want anyone to feel bad. I am just me, and I should have known this about me and known that I am not capable of reaching out and saying hey, this is going to be more because of this, or this is going to cost more because of this. I was trying to be helpful because I know that you guys are also trying to run your business and save as much money as possible. So I felt bad asking or telling anyone that their piece was going to need to cost more than another one because of how big it was or how intricate it was. And so I never did it. And so that ate into my time, and then I wasn't being compensated for my time, all my own problem and my own fault, self-created. But knowing that about myself, that I'm not usually able to do something like that, I should have known that, I wouldn't really be fairly compensated for my time because I wasn't capable of charging what I needed to charge people. That also was the same for me when it came to making molds. I was supposed to be charging more for making molds for people that had intricate cuts, undercuts, that were larger, that required more silicone mold, like more materials, and I never did, which cost me more silicone, cost me more time trying to figure out how to cut these weird, twisty, wide, big molds. And all of it just added up. There were times where I would stay up until 1 or 2 just adding a bunch of sprues to like large orders. I just personally don't have what it takes to run a casting business with all of the intricacies that come with it, with all the weird things that people could send, with the big different sizes and stuff. I don't have what it takes. So if you're wanting to cast for other people and you do not fear telling people, hey, this is kind of big and it's going to be in a different size flask, I need to charge more. If you don't mind having those conversations, then you're going to be totally fine. This is not going to be a problem for you. But I couldn't do it. Another thing that I found really, really challenging about casting for other people, and this really doesn't have much to do with it being other people, it was just the sheer volume, and like the amount of times I was casting meant more sprue trees, more sprues. Some people had like larger pieces than others. Some people had really dainty work, which was really easy for me to work with, and my sprues were really tiny, so they clipped right off. And then other people had really, really, really chunky signet rings or really chunky, like beautiful pieces, but they required really thick sprues, like 8-gauge sprues, or 6 gauge, a little bit wider, 6 gauge, and I would have to cut an entire tree of 6 gauge sprues, which if you tried to do that, you can't really do that with a normal set of sprue cutters. And so I would have so much like physical hand pain from spending like an hour trying to cut sprues. And then I did get a cutoff wheel, but the cutoff wheels can feel kind of sketchy sometimes because if you've got pieces really close together, you don't want your cutoff wheel to run away from you and cut a slice into someone else's piece. So it was a balancing act of just using brunt force and then having to sit there and use a cutoff wheel, which again takes a lot more time than just cutting something off with a sprue cutters. So if I'm just casting my work, which usually consists of smaller rings and smaller sprues, not as big of batches, clearly because it's just my work, then I'm cutting a lot less sprues, I'm using a lot less force, and spending a lot less time like on that task. If I'm going to be putting my hands under that much stress, at least by not casting for other people, I'm not doing it as often. And because my pieces are usually more dainty, I'm not going to be trying to cut those big thick sprues as often, hopefully preserving my hands. There was a time at one point where I was cutting these sprues off of someone's larger pieces that I'd stopped and I started looking at pneumatic sprue cutters. So Rio Grande has a few budget options, but also some more expensive ones. And even the budget ones are more expensive. So I was looking into something pneumatic just to help me because it is not sustainable long term to be cutting these sprues by hand, especially if you're using big sprues a lot. This last one isn't one of the reasons why I stopped casting, but it was a downside. It was something that didn't really make you feel good, but every now and then you would have items that didn't come out well, whether something didn't form fully or you had a blowout in your casting chamber, which did happen to me recently, and I lost almost an entire flask. My investment cracked, and when I pulled the suction, the silver just went straight to the bottom. It kills me inside to have to tell someone that I messed up their piece, especially when people put so much effort and time and work into carving these pieces. Some are super intricate and you can tell they spent a lot of time on it, and it makes you feel so guilty, like sick to your stomach, like you hit someone's dog and they're dead. I'm just kidding. Not that bad. That's pretty dramatic. It just makes you feel really bad. It doesn't feel good. Not everything is within your control. And so all you can do is try and make it right and do for them what you would hope someone would do for you. I always tried to make it right, but it still never makes you feel good. No matter how, you know, in control you are of it, or if it was your fault or not, it still makes you feel really guilty. And so I will not miss that guilty feeling. I can handle messing up my work all day long, but I cannot handle messing up other people's stuff. So just know, if you end up casting for other people, that stuff like that will happen. It will not always be your fault. Sometimes it will be a fluke accident, and you will just have to be able to graciously break the news to someone. And thankfully, everyone was always so nice about it and so understanding and so forgiving. No one ever made me feel guilty, which was beautiful. But I don't want any of those things to scare you guys away. If this is something that you're interested in doing, just know it will interfere with your own work. It will interfere with your own business. While you're growing, it can definitely help supplementing the cost of all the tools, while you're trying to pay them all off. If you want to cast for a small group of people just to help yourself financially, by all means do it. But I just wanted to let you guys know the results of this experiment. Not that this was an experiment, but it took up so much of my time. I feel like I've always been a multi-passionate person, and I've always wanted to try everything and try and be good at everything. And this was something I was really, really interested in, and I'm really, really, really glad I did it. I will never regret doing it, and I hate to let it go. But at the end of the day, I always try to bring myself to the main question, which is, what do I want to be known for? Anytime I get to that road where I'm like, okay, something has to go. Something's got to give, because I am just one person and I can't keep doing everything myself. Something has to give. Which one is it going to be? Is it going to be my jewelry? Is it going to be Patreon? Is it going to be casting for other people? What is it? Always come back to the question, what do you want to be known for? What do you want people to remember you for? What do you want your business to be known for? And the one thing I know that I don't want my business to be known for is casting for other jewelers. As much as I love it, that's never been a title that I've wanted to hold. I just wanted to help, and I wanted to supplement my business's income. And so that's how I got to the point of saying, okay, it's time to let it go. I tried my best to keep everything together, and I just can't. I'm just one person. I am so grateful to everyone that sent me their work over the last year and trusted me and worked with me. You all are so incredibly talented. I had so much fun opening your boxes, seeing your work, seeing some of the things you guys come up with was mind-blowing, and so much fun to play a small part in your business as well. For the people that were casting with me that are gonna have to go find someone else, I did my best to give everyone information on other casters that I had been recommended from other people who are working with other casters throughout the United States. So I will put their names on the screen so that if you are looking for a caster, if you are working with me and this is the first time you're hearing about this, then here are some people that you guys can work with. I hope that this video helps my old customers know why I decided to stop casting. If you're thinking of casting for other people, then I hope you can maybe see what can happen, what's worth it, some of my pros and cons, and maybe weigh those odds for yourself on what you'd like to do. But just know that it does take a lot of time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be making another video soon about troubleshooting casting. It's been a video that's been on my mind and I get a lot of questions about it. So I'll be posting that one either next or the next one after this one. And I'll have an announcement very soon about a very special project. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. It's a big part of my business and I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.